Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. This is Love Apparel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing us how I went about the cutting and sewing of this beautiful stylish gown you saw on my thumbnail. So if this is what you're interested in, definitely want to keep on watching, and if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please subscribe and hit on the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload. And for my returning subscribers, you guys are welcome. Thank you very much. So without wasting no time, let's get started with this video. I'm using the edge for my starting point. So I've gone ahead to mark my shoulder to chest line, which is 9, my shoulder to bust point, which is 10 and a half, my shoulder to under bust, which is 13, and my shoulder to half length, which is 16. So I label it. I divide my shoulder by 2 and mark. My shoulder is 14, I divide it. 14 divided by 2 is 7. I I mark my neck width by 3. I came down with 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I divide my nipple to nipple by 2. I connect the lines. I came in by 1 inch and half an inch. I did the same on my under bust. And connect the lines. Under my bust, I came down with half an inch to curve my dart, just like you see me doing. I divide my shoulder to get my midpoint. Then I connect it to all the way to my dart line. I divide my shoulder also to get my midpoint. I came in with half an inch and curve it. I came out with 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I divide my bust by 4 and mark plus my 2-inch seam allowance. I divide my under bust by 4 plus my 1.5 inch for the dart plus my 2-inch seam allowance I marked. I divide my half length by 4 plus 1.5 inch that is going off and my 2-inch seam allowance. I came down with 1 inch for my side dart. I came down with 6 inch for my shoulder curve. I came up with 1.5 inch for my sweetheart neck. Here I want to mark my sweetheart. So I curve it. And on my chest line, I mark half an inch on both sides for my chest tightening. Mark my side dart. I came down from my bust by 1 inch to get my side dart. So I connect it to my bust point nipple to nipple. The lines will be cut off. Just watch, the ones I shaded will be cutting it off. My shoulder midpoint, I connect to my dart line. So here you need to have a very good curve to curve it well if you can't use your free hand. So you make it, I curve it very well. So from my shoulder, I came up with 2 inch depending on how you want yours, how exposed you want it. So I curve it all the way from my shoulder to my, so that's my sweetheart. I connect my lines. I cut my side dart. Mind you, when cutting your side dart, don't cut it off, just cut it and use pin to pin it down. You cut your dart, cut the lines, the shaded parts. So cut your shoulder. When you're cutting it on your fabric, You cut on fold plus your stitching allowance. So this is it for our front pattern. Let's go mark our back pattern. I'm using this piece of paper for my marking. I've gone ahead to mark my shoulder to my bust point, my shoulder to my half length, and my shoulder to my chest line. So I connect the lines. I label it. Here I divide my shoulder into two, which gives me 7. Mark my shoulder slope. I came down with 1 inch and my neck width with 3 inch. Then I connect it. I mark half of my nipple point from my chest line to the length of the top. I divide my shoulder to get my midpoint. I connect the line or to the length of my dart. Please ignore my dart. That dart is not original dart. Please, so ignore the dart. Mark my. I came in with half inch for my shoulder. Then I connect it. I came out with 1 inch for my shoulder slope and I curve it. So you see our front and back are the same. So please I attach papers to cover that dart. So just mark your normal dart and connect it. Pause by 4 and mark. Divide my waistline by 4 plus my 2 inch seam allowance. I curve it. So our back has a deep curve. So it's either you use your curving ruler or use your free hand to curve it. So that is it for our back. On your fabric, when marking it to cut and fold, you add your seam allowance for the joining. You add 1 inch allowance for the zipper allowance plus extra allowance for your ease allowance. Your ease allowance on the armhole side. So now let's mark our skirt. Okay, in marking your skirt, you minus your half length. For example, your half length is 16. You minus your half length from your marking. You mark your waist to hip line. Then you divide your waist by 4 plus 2 inch sewing allowance. You come down to your hip. You divide your hip by 4 plus 2 inch sewing allowance. You connect your lines. Also connect the down part to the length of your gown. Okay, like this pattern, I'm using it for both the front and for the back. So connect it. Remember you are cutting on fold. Remember you are cutting on fold. So you divide your waist by 2 to get your midpoint. So the midpoint is our dart. So when cutting for the back, what is needed is just the zipper allowance. Here is the clearer picture of the front pattern. So this is the back. Just the zipper allowance is what is different. Marking your flowery design, just mark cross in a white sheet of paper and mark in between the line a tiny line to. With the tiny line, you now curve it just the way you see me doing. That's how you cut all of it. Use your black crepe to cut 6 pieces. One will be a lining, so you sew it together in 3 places and place it on your fabric and stitch it very well. You can also bead it if you want. Please, if you are still yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, like, share and comment on this video. Thanks for watching. See you in my next class.